Alright, it's Dave. Welcome to the Falcon Blues TV. I'm here with a very special guest today. This is Tom from the Black Watch. Tom, thanks for coming aboard, mate. Really glad to see you.
Thanks for having us.
So, your role is basically the publisher, the founder, the janitor, the cleaner, the cook, the maid and everything else
toilet cleaner,
of the Black Watch. So, just tell us a bit about it then, mate. How did you come about, where did the idea come from, you know, and the reason for behind the name The Black Watch and everything else? So
the Black Watch fanzine, printed fanzine on sale outside Goodison, started last year. We went first game on sale last year was Tottenham at home on September the 9th, so almost to the day.
Brilliant.
Obviously we lost 3-0, so good start.
Maybe not.
Typical start. But yeah, so it's been going a year. Started it really because, you know, when I grew up going to match, I always used to buy printed fanzine. When Skies Are Grey, Speak From The Harbour, occasionally wrote for them as well, you know, sent stuff in.
Yeah.
And then obviously Speak From The Harbour stopped, I think, in 2012, when Skies Are Grey moved to a digital model in 2013. And for a couple of years, I just missed buying a fanzine, to be honest. Printed fanzine, you know, there's a lot of good fan media online, you know, a lot of good websites and blogs and stuff like that out there. But I really missed just buying something at a match. So after a few years, I just thought, well, fuck it, if no one else is doing one, I'll do it myself. The exact moment, actually, like I really thought, right, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I was lucky enough to go to Tanzania for the pre-season game.
Oh yeah.
And basically, I mean, it was a fucking brilliant trip. Went with a couple of mates, but at half time, basically myself and about 25 other Evertonians managed to sneak into like the VIP area, and we basically ended up like
it wouldn't be an Everton trip without someone sneaking into something somewhere.
Exactly.
Something for nothing, would it?
You've got to get something for nothing. So basically, there's all these like 25 Blues, and I'm sure anyone goes home and away will probably, you know, recognise a lot of the faces. And we were all there helping ourselves to the half-time buffet next to Robert Elstone, Leon Osborne, and Tanzanian president. And I just thought, fucking, I need to write this down. I need to get this written down, documented. So over that summer 2017, I sort of worked on it, and then went on sale, as I say, last September. The name, The Black Watch, I spent fucking ages trying to come up with a name. I couldn't think of a good name, really, struggling. And then obviously The Black Watch is one of Everton's original, earliest nicknames. And so I just sort of suggested it to a few mates, and they were like, yeah, that's not a bad one, you know, and so it just kind of stuck, and then so I went with it.
Sounds, yeah.
So we're on our 10th issue now.
Wow.
So just done 10 in about a year. I mean, I cringe looking back at the first issue now, to be honest. You know, the first issue was entirely written by myself, entirely edited by myself. And since then, a lot more people have come on board with articles and cartoons and stuff, and it's a lot better than it was back then.
Well, to be fair, we still cringe at looking back at some of these videos that we created at the beginning as well, so you're not the only one. Did you find it difficult to work your way into, you know, the whole fanzine world, if you like, you know, because obviously, I know Speak From The Harbour, you know, went the way it did, but when Skies Are Grey has just been, literally, you associate that with Everton.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, it's like going to match, that's like going to St Luke's. You walk on the island and you'll see a When Skies Are Grey seller. You know, obviously they've gone to the digital era now.
Yeah.
But did you think, I'm going to be in over my head here because of these established lads, they've been here you know, since day one almost, you know?
Well, no, I mean, definitely to an extent, you know, because, I mean, When Skies Are Grey is an Everton institution, as you say. You know, I first bought that when I was about 15, 16. Yeah. Like the age when you start to be able to think for yourself, basically, you realise, like, just because Alan Stubbs is an Evertonian, he's still gobshite, you know what I mean? So that was about the end of the Smith era, and I loved it, you know, I couldn't get enough of the fanzines.
It's pretty dark times reading it during then as well. It was
a lot
of bile in there at some point, I remember reading.
But I think that's...
At the same point, there was always that beacon of light, it was like, it's not all bad, you know, because there was something decent as well, you know, but before we were shite, we were good, you know, and
exactly, and there's always something to celebrate about Everton, even in the dark times, you know, and I think as well, you know, even if we were shite, it needs saying, it needs saying by some people, not necessarily even just on the pitch, matters if it's off the pitch as well, you know, whatever the issue is. So yeah, I mean, when I started it, you know, I mean, I thought if I can do anything like they've done, you know, even half the success, I'll be doing well. I mean, what I found though was, you know, the first print run I did, it was about 150 copies, and managed to sell them all out on the first day, which It's not a lot at all, you know, it's small numbers, but I still thought a lot of people came up to me like, I'm really pleased it's a printed fanzine.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still say that to me now, you know. I mean, a lot of people still don't know that the Black Watch is going, and like, you know, the last issue we did, number 9, and there was people buying it for the first time and saying, yeah, it was great to be able to buy printed fanzine at the match again. So yeah, you know, obviously there's more established fanzines out there, you know, but I think the beauty of Everton, and our sort of fan scene, as it were, is the space for everyone. Yeah. I think, you know, it's not so long ago that Everton would have had 2, 3, 4 fanzines being sold at the match. So yeah, you know, and the lads at When Skies Are Grey have been, you know, I chat to them every game. They buy our issues, I subscribe to them, you know. It's really good lads, you know. Yeah.
Well, the way When Skies Are Grey went, they've gone to now, obviously, the more digital format. Do you see yourself going down that route yourself, or are you happy with what you've got at the moment, doing like the paper ones? Because I know, as you're saying, people are like made up to see a paper version again. Yeah. You know, it's one of those ones that you can just, no disrespect, you can take it in the bog. You know what I mean? You don't. It's rather than sitting with your phone in the bog. You know, you got a fanzine in your hand is always good. Don't worry about that. But do you think that that's an arena that you want to get into as well? Yeah,
you know, it's a timely question because I've today been dealing with, I've got a subscriber in the US who's one of our most loyal subscribers, and his latest issue hasn't turned up after 4 weeks. Yeah, I don't know if customs have taken it or something, wiped their arse with it. But yeah, so it's something I've contemplated. But I mean, but at the moment, I think I'm focused on just making the print version. Yeah. As good as it can be, you know what I mean. It's probably only the last few months that I've really started to be happy, like truly happy with what's going out, you know, because it's a bit of a learning curve, you know. When you start it, you know, and you do a few issues, you find out what works, what doesn't work, you know, that sort of thing, and you learn new things that you might want to do with it. So, you know, one of the reasons I started it was because I believe in print. There's a bit of a narrative I think about, you know, print media is dead. And obviously a lot of print media is struggling, but you know, around the country there's a lot of print fanzines that are still thriving. Yeah. And I think a club like Everton, you know, should be able to sustain a print fanzine. So at the moment, I think my focus is just on trying to make that print version as good as it can be, and maybe one day, you know, digital. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
So with it being in print, how many people actually work with you to produce a fanzine, and how long roughly does it take to produce and get one out? Because obviously you have one. Roughly every 3 or 4 weeks, but are you literally working to the night before it's due to go out in some cases?
Hopefully my employer doesn't watch this.
No, he's hard working, he's absolutely fine, you know.
No, so I guess the first point about how many people, I mean, so I started the mag and I'm the editor. I mean, and if I stop doing it tomorrow, then the mag would stop as well. There's not sort of a big editorial team, as it were. But one of the things that's really great about it is there has been loads more people coming on board since that first issue. I did the first issue, and then almost immediately people sending stuff in. I mean, and what's really good as well is the mix of sort of articles that people send in. You get some, like, you know, analytical, serious stuff, but a lot of light-hearted stuff, a lot of taking the piss out of ourselves as much as anyone else as well, you know. And so roughly, you know, I think for this issue we've got about 12, 13, 14 different contributors. Some have done cartoons, some have done different types of articles. So in terms of how long it takes me to produce, I mean, I'm always planning a couple of issues ahead. Like, I've got an idea of what will go in each issue, but also it's kind of dependent on what other people send in, obviously. You know, so I'm always trying to plan ahead, getting the front covers sorted, getting the own articles that I might write myself sorted. But, you know, I couldn't tell you how long each issue takes. It's one of those, like, if you woke up on a Sunday morning and you realised how much you drank at the match the day before, you'd be horrified. And I'd probably, if I realised how many hours of my life I spend on it, then, and if I calculated it, my girlfriends would probably have something to say as well.
Fair enough. So with that then, as a result, obviously having to work 2-3 ahead, I'm sure that's not without its difficulties. So what do you struggle with most when you're trying to produce them?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a couple of things, I guess. I mean, one is obviously, you know, unlike a post on a forum or an article which you can write and upload to a website within a couple of hours, you know, the sort of timeline for the mag is that say it's going to this one is going on sale on Sunday, went to the printers on Monday, just gone, you know, so that's 6 days before it actually goes on sale. And the mags arrived with me today, actually ready to post out to the subscribers tomorrow. So I guess basically, you know, there's obviously a time like there, things can change. I mean, we got caught out last year, so Allardyce was appointed on the day before, I think, the West Ham game, or the day of the West Ham game. I'd sent the fanzine to the printers the day before, with an editorial that, you know, about the manager, you know, vacant manager's position, and normally I write things in a way that it doesn't date, you know what I mean. But I was so confident Sam Allardyce had no chance. I actually wrote the first page of the fanzine, first sentence almost, at least Sam Allardyce will never get the Everton job. And then the next day, I was like,
he's got that frame. He's got that.
So that's one example. But you know, so that's one challenge. But most of the articles, I guess, try to be a bit more considered, not very reactive. You know, I think that's where, you know, obviously stuff like the stuff that you do yourselves, you're in a position where you can give instant comment and instant analysis of different situations. I think the fanzine, the way I see it, is they complement each other, actually, these different forms of media. The fanzine maybe could take a step back, you know, try and summarise everything that's happened in the last few weeks.
So like the after effect of everything that's happened.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so I see those different forms of media as being quite complementary. The other challenge, and I guess it's a plea to anyone out there as well, is selling the fanzine. So every issue so far has sold out, and that to me I think indicates, you know, the print run increases with every issue, and I think there's demand out there, you know, and you know, so if anyone wants to, why you'd want to, I don't know, but you know, if anyone fancies earning a bit of money on a match day, then you can come and help me sell the fanzine.
If you want to stand on the island on a pissing down rain right before the match, you know,
come speak to me.
Yeah, you'll get you a pie and a pint for it as well. That you pay. So the fanzine itself, you know, it's taken off really well, and you look at them now, and they're really vivid. You know, you can walk on the island, you can instantly see there's a Black Watch fanzine, there's that. And I think that's all down to the really, really vivid front covers that you've been doing. So where does the inspiration come from them? Who draws them? Do you do them yourself? Or have you got, I mean, it's a good plug for whoever's doing your covers.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I mean, so I mean, firstly, I wish I could draw them myself. I don't have that talent, unfortunately. I guess, you know, so the covers that we do are very sort of artistic. You know, we've got sort of 3 or 4 illustrators that we call on to do the covers and kind of rotate them. You know, the last couple have been done by a lad called Tom Bradshaw, who actually supports Huddersfield, but he's really creative, got loads of great ideas, incredibly talented. And there's another guy called Stu Haler who contributes illustrations to go inside the mag as well as some front covers, and he's an Evertonian. Where does the inspiration come from? So I guess we started off doing sort of like, you know, illustrations of classic images, or scenes from Everton history, and then over the last few issues tried to make them a bit more topical or a bit more satirical as well. So
like the Davy Glasson one, the Allardyce Wanted sign and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah. So the Glasson one, you know, all work and no play makes Davy. Davy is old boy. And the one on Saturday that's going on sale this weekend.
Should we keep it a secret?
Yeah, well, we'll keep it a secret. Yeah, but the one we got going on sale this weekend, I'm pretty pleased with as well. And we've got a couple more lined up as well, you know. So they're the sorts of things that we have to have sort of in the bank as well, because it takes the illustrators quite a long time. You know, they work really hard on them. It's not the sort of thing that they can turn over.
Yeah, I suppose there's a lot of back and forth, like saying, well, there's a brief, and this is what I want you to do. Yeah. Can you tweak this? Can you tweak that? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But you know, I love the front covers that we've done. It's something I really want to continue. I'm not going to obviously spoil it, but I've got some belters lined up for the season as well. You know, some related to our dear neighbours, you know, which I'm saving for the derby. So, yeah, you know, I think they're a really good feature of the mag, and something I really want to sustain. You know.
Have you got a favourite?
I think my favourite is probably the silver one, the last issue actually, just because I mean the whole idea of it, you know, it was a piss take of the film Big, and the whole idea was about, you know, make our dreams come true, you know, fortune teller and all that. And but Tom, who drew it, he just caught Silver's likeness so well, you know, and the colours of it. I really liked it. I should also just give a bit of a plug for the guy. He's on Twitter, EFC Edits,
yes,
Matty.
They are amazing. We've mentioned them a couple of times on the show.
Yeah,
they're just stunning. And some cracking work. And to be fair, to get him on,
yeah,
I think you've nailed those back covers for as many months as you need to.
Exactly. I mean, Matty's he's really sort of come up with a bit of a niche there. I think it's really good. The Pickford one we had for the last issue was really vivid, and the colours were a bit like the Hacienda in Manchester, which I quite liked. And he's done a belter one for the next issue as well.
Excellent.
But if you don't follow him, EFC Edits, Matty. Yeah.
So on the subject of covers, then issue 6 has seemed very popular, which is the Ellen Road game 4-1 game against Spurs, which has been immortalised onto a t-shirt.
That's right, yeah.
And we've also got the Everton 84 t-shirt.
Yeah.
Which we've also got in, like, you know, the two colours, the blue and white. Are you planning more t-shirts similar? Like, obviously to match with maybe using more of the covers that you're using, or, you know, have you got other stuff in the pipeline for that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some stuff in the pipeline. Yeah, not related to the covers. You know, I think, as I say, the covers are not all the time, but, you know, going down a bit more of a topical route, you know, which probably wouldn't go well on a t-shirt so much. But yeah, you know, the Everton 85 t-shirts that we've done were incredible success. Really pleased with how they went down, and yeah, that idea, it was sort of an adaptation of the Mexico 86 World Cup logo, and it just came to me during a boring meeting at work, and I emailed.
Now, Tom's boss, you didn't hear that.
Yeah.
The meeting was amazing. You know?
A few of the Evertonians as well, so I should probably be careful what I'm saying. But yeah, you know, so I emailed the illustrator who did that one for us, a lad called Liam, and we worked that up, and yeah, they went down well.
Yeah. We were also talking about it over the phone a couple of days ago, that the proceeds from the t-shirt, some of the proceeds go towards a charity. Do you want to just elaborate on that? Why did you come up with that idea?
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not slanting it at all. I think, you know, everyone should be involved in a charity one way or another. You know, we're trying to do one for ourselves with our own swear jar. So any money that we've got from say. I said holidays before. I've said it twice now, so over £2. So we're going to we'll put that to the charity. But you just donated yourself to a local charity, or?
So I mean, obviously it's on behalf of the fanzine. It's from the proceeds of the t-shirts, you know. So the inspiration behind that, to be honest, was other fanzines around the country. You know, there's one in Leeds called the Square Ball, and one in Barnsley called I love this name, West Hand Box. And basically, I'd bought those fanzines myself over the last few years, and they were doing loads of fundraising, far beyond anything I've done, to be honest, or the fanzine's done. You know, so when I started doing the t-shirts, my aim was twofold, really. You know, because I needed to raise a little bit of money just to have yourself taken. Yeah, you know, because when I started the fanzine, I was investing my own money in it, and it's just nice to be able to pay for a round of mags, get them printed without having to go into my own money, you know. So and then secondly, I thought, why don't we see if we can do something? So the first one, the Ellen Road Police Horse t-shirt, we made a donation, raised a few £100 for Whitechapel, which is a homelessness charity. Why homelessness? It's something I encounter in my own job occasionally, and so yeah, you know, and it's something that's growing in the country. So I thought, you know, we'll do what we can. Yeah. And then the last one, the Everton 85 t-shirts, we lucky. I mean, everyone who bought one is to thank. You know, we just donated £760 to the Paul Lavelle Foundation, which I encourage everyone to Google, and they're fundraising for a community hub for victims of domestic violence and other sort of issues in communities. Well,
we'll put some details on the comments for the video for you. But, you know, we'll do what we can.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and have a look. Yeah, everyone should Google Paul Lavelle Foundation. It's not. I'm not involved with the charity, but there's some lads there doing really good work, and they're all Evertonians as well. So, you know, if we can support them, it'd be great. Yeah.
Amazing. Right, okay, so that sort of concludes our questions, mate, so thank you very much for that. But the latest edition is out tomorrow? It's going to be released tomorrow, is it?
It's on sale at the match on Sunday before the West Ham game. If anyone wants to buy a copy, they can have a look on Twitter. There's a link there to buy it, and it'll be posted out straight away. Yeah, you know, and there's something for everyone in there, to be honest. You know, there's a couple of good articles, you know, ranging from There's a guy who's written about stewarding one of the football special trains in the 80s, which doesn't sound like the best job in the world, I'm sure, if we can imagine.
That's asked my dad about that, actually. being a steward for 40 odd years, he's probably done one or two in the time.
Well, this lad's written a really good sort of anecdote about when he took a train up to Middlesbrough. There's a quiz in there which is a bit more humorous and satirical, and then we've got a few articles which are a bit more, analysing, summarising what Silver's done so far. We've got something on ticket pricing as well. The away ticket price cap comes to an end this year, so we've got done a bit of analysis over how much money Evertonians who've gone to away games have saved since that was introduced. And there's something for everyone in there, I think, and there's only £2 as well. So
available for the very, very low price of £2. A lot cheaper than the Everton programme. Black Watch is far more entertaining.
Thank you for that.
Also, your t-shirts are on sale via...
So we've got a sort of online shop, the Black Watch fanzine, all one word, .bigcartel.com. You can get an Everton 85 t-shirt for £15. We've got about 20 of them left.
Save me one. We did talk about
it. Save you one, so maybe 19 left. So they're on sale as well for about £15, and we'll hopefully be doing some more on that later in the year. And other than that, it's just the mag will come out every sort of 4 weeks or so.
Excellent. Okay, and can you subscribe to it as well? On the Big Cartel website, is it? You
can, I mean, subscriptions are really important to the mag, to be honest. So one of the great things I said at the start was I wanted to start a printed fanzine. I think it's on sale at the match in person. You've got a visible presence outside the ground, and one of the encouraging things is actually most of our sales are outside the ground. People still turn up with their £2 or £20 notes,
So you give them 10 copies.
yeah. I'm tempted to when someone pays for a 20, to be honest. But 90% of our sales, I would say, are apart from the subscriptions, obviously, but 90% of individual copies are sold on a match day. So I think there's still an appetite out there. But subscriptions really help because it just gives us a base. You know what I mean? It's like
how many to shoot for the per
exactly. Because we had a nightmare issue back in April. It was the Derby game, issue 7 it was, and it pissed down before the game, absolutely lashed down, was absolutely soaked, kicked off at 12:30 or something. Because of the weather, it was torrential rain. Sales were steady actually, but loads of the copies actually just got destroyed by the weather. And
the West guys are great lads, can contest to that, can't they?
Well, exactly. It was a proper initiation. You know what I mean? Good on them for doing it for 25 years out in the rain, and it was just a miserable day. You know what I mean? But you get those days, and I love doing it. Generally, but if anyone wants to subscribe, then it does help the mag.
Fantastic. So, there's a plug. So get subscribing. We'll get ours in. But so fanzine goes out on Sunday. You'll see Tom on the island. Be sure to give him a quick hello and £20. You get plenty of fanzines.
10 copies.
That's it. Tom, thank you very much for coming on board, mate. Really appreciate it. You're going to stick around a little bit and have a chat with the other lads about the West Ham game.
That's right.
But they'll take you down in the bar. You can have a few berries there.
Excellent.
We've shown you the sex layer.
The sex layer. It's everything you imagine.
Thanks, mate. Don't forget that this video is going out on Wednesday. Tomorrow in the Falcon from 6:30. 2 films are on. We're going to be showing what's the first one?
Out for Justice.
Out for Justice, and the main one, which I think Paul's really excited about, is RoboCop.
Bitches leave.
So it's free. You like it, isn't? But it's free to come and watch. You got so from 6:30, Paul, 7 o'clock. So come down, come and have a laugh, come and meet the lads from the Falcon Blues, come and have a berry, come to a really decent boozer in Kirby. And that's about it for this one. So
can you fly, Bobby?
But till then, go and enjoy a pint with the lads at the West Ham preview, and up the fucking toffees. See you soon.